I'll do a quick react to the new League of Legends dev blog.
Hello, gamers. I'm Pabro, and with me is a longtime writer and fellow dev, Brett.
Hey everyone, I'm Brett, also known as Frost, and I'm the product lead here on League of Legends.
What should they do with Meddler?
It's Monday, May 19th, and we're here to talk to you all about some awesome stuff we got coming. But first, we have a little something to kick off the second act, so enjoy.
Let's go, second act. Holy moly. Alright, wait. That's the new Spirit Blossom ARAM map I heard about. I was gonna take a little peek at it. They added a little alcove here, it seems, on the top side. And then I guess this is a portal. That's pretty crazy. That's gonna be fun, I think. At least interesting. You can see people just portaling back and forth and then just dying to people sitting in the bushes. Okay, wait. Pirates?
Hey everyone, I'm Riot.
Hey, wait. Go back
Long
to
time
the
no see,
pirates.
gamers. I'm Riot Flux.
We're here to talk a bit more about the ARAM changes that you just saw. In Act 2, we're going to be adding multiple maps to ARAM.
Yo, multiple maps to ARAM? Nice.
After Champ Select, when you load in, you'll randomly get one of 3 maps. The classic Howling Abyss, an old favorite, the Butcher's Bridge, and an all-new Spirit Blossom themed map, Cushion's Crossing.
Alright, so they're only adding these 3? What about the Bridge of Progress? Are they just gonna not put that one in? Maybe that will come later, I guess. You know, I think that's definitely nice, being able to, when you load into ARAM, and be slightly different.
Our goal with introducing more maps to ARAM
I wonder what
is
they
to bring
did to
more
the
excitement
Bilgewater
and variety to each game without fundamentally changing what you all love about them. That said, we do have some unique additions to new maps that we want to go over. We'll start with the newest map. The most notable change we've added, other than the whole visual reskin, are the Spirit Blossom portals. They'll be replacing Hex Gates, but we won't just have them take you from your base to your outermost turret.
We also added some portals to the center of the map, so you can use them to try
Oh.
to make the outplay of a lifetime, or simply get outplayed. We
Legit.
can't wait to see the creative ways you'll find to use them.
Oh, hey, that's the
Additionally, we made
creative
some
ways.
terrain adjustments to the middle of the map to make fights feel a little bit different than they do in the Howling Abyss, while still remaining an all-out ARAM fiesta. Just to manage expectations, we're experimenting with this as a season-themed map, so let us know how you like it.
Moving over to the Butcher's Bridge.
Let's go.
We know a lot of longtime ARAM enjoyers have fond memories of the old event map, and so do we. It's something that many of you have asked us to bring back.
So we're bringing it back.
And we even killed Gangplank again.
Let's go.
No.
Yeah, as a Gangplank player, as a Gangplank main, when they killed Gangplank, I stopped playing for a week. I don't know why they did that. That was crazy. I was a Gangplank one trick when they killed him.
No. Just
Welcome back to the scenic haunting depths of Bilgewater, where you can become a pirate and maybe
No way they added the power flower from Arena. That's so no way that's gonna be balanced or fun to play against. One team is gonna take advantage of it and shove the other team under tower, and then they're not gonna be able to do anything. They're just gonna get this for free. I wonder if it does, because I wonder what it does exactly.
enjoy a power flower or two. Inspired by Arena, these power flowers refund your cooldowns and give you some shielding, but they won't heal you.
Cooldown and shielding, but no healing. I feel like the cooldown is the problem. You're gonna get one person with their ult up again from that. That's gonna be pretty strong.
They grow in a new, small alcove located in the center of the bridge. We added them to be a new incentive to start fights, similar to health relics, which should keep things from being too stale for too long.
I do like the little alcove though that they added here. It's definitely a nice little area in the middle of the map that you can gank out of pretty easily. It's bigger than the bush that was here on the regular map, so people can't just throw ability in here and clear it because you can tuck back here. So I think that's a little bit of a good change. This little corner over here, this corner right here, and you can tuck back here, and then before it was about right here. And if you tuck over here, it's going to be a lot harder to clear this with an ability.
Don't worry though, they aren't as powerful as they are in Arena, so they shouldn't impact the outcome of a fight unless it comes down to the smallest of margins. We also added cannons to both spawns because are you really a pirate if you don't have cannons?
No.
no. These cannons aren't just good at getting
Hey,
you around the
unzip,
map.
unzip.
They're also a more interesting and aggressive way to get back into the action and knock enemies up where you land. Their range will depend on your furthest standing tower, which means if your inhibitor's down and the enemy is pushing in on you for the win, you could take advantage of the cannons and get a 5-person knockup, setting up your Yasuo for an amazing ultimate to turn the tables on the enemy team.
Last, but certainly
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think the one problem that they had with default ARAM is that when you portal in, it's basically like death. It signifies where you're going to be going, and there's no negatives for the enemy team. So you're able to just kill someone when they portal in if they're by themselves. At least with like the cannon, you get a little bit of like the knock-up. I've seen in Earth, when people cannon in, they just get farmed. So we'll see what happens.
certainly not least, we have the Howling Abyss. This is something us
The old
ARAM mains
Classico.
call, and because so many of you love the map as it is today, we didn't make any changes to it. Like we said, we wanted to preserve the core ARAM experience, and we think that keeping Howling Abyss untouched will help with that.
Yeah, because the last few things that they did to Howling Abyss were really good anyways. I mean, the towers falling over. Good job, Riot.
We also wanted to talk about a non-map related change that we have coming to ARAM, champion cards. One long-standing piece of player feedback we've heard is that the amount of champions you can choose from in each game feels a little inconsistent. It could be frustrating if your teammates leave some rerolls on the table and you're stuck with 2 to 3 champs on the bench to choose from. So in order to give you all more options more consistently, we're removing the reroll system and replacing it with champion cards.
When you enter Champ Select, you'll be presented with 2 champs to choose from. You'll have a bit of time to pick one, at which point the other will go to the bench. This guarantees you'll get at least 10 champs to choose from in any lobby. And if you get lucky, you'll be given 3 champs to pick from. We considered always giving 3 options, but that might lead to getting some champs too reliably. And who wants a Nidalee, Ziggs, or Xerath in every one of their games?
Going forward, we want to make sure that all of you ARAM mains know how much we appreciate you, and we'll think of ways to keep ARAM feeling fresh and loved. If you thought the Bridge of Progress, for example, had too many changes, this should be quite a bit less, as we focus mostly on slightly altering the map shape, as opposed to introducing more drastic changes like snowball, health relic buffs, inhibitor rewards, and so on.
Yeah.
Going
They did way too much with the Bridge of Progress. And then they made it so like you get a buff based on which side of the map you are, and one of the buffs was just objectively better.
forward, we don't want to make these changes in isolation, but it is going to take some testing and learning to get them right.
We're looking for your feedback to know what you enjoy, what we get right, and what we can improve. So please, keep talking to us so we can continually build and improve on the modes all of you love.
We think that this new map pool will be a fun and exciting addition to ARAM, but we want to get your feedback first before we commit to making this change permanent. As a reminder, Brawl is currently live, so please make sure you go give it a try. That's it from us. As always, thanks for playing, and we'll see you in ARAM.
Honestly, though, that was pretty big changes for ARAM. I think that's going to be really nice. Having a different map every time you like load in RNG. Once they add a few more, that's going to be pretty nice. Especially if they're going to have like little differences between the ARAM maps. The cannon will help with like team comp wise. Like if you get like a really heavy poke team and you get the cannons, like it's going to be really nice to just jump in at them.
We're still deep in the Spirit Blossom Festival, and almost everything this season has ties to the massive bloom, or wild bloom as it's called in Ionia. From the new ARAM map to the increased Spirit Blossoms on Summoner's Rift, and even our next champion, Yanara.
We aren't going to get into specifics about Yanara right now. She's still not coming out for a few more patches, but we do want to confirm that she's a traditional ADC with a core focus on auto attacks. We brought in a bunch of content creators,
Riot Games designing an ADC that auto attacks. That's crazy.
and you'll get a full reveal of her kit with these creators in just 2 weeks. Yanara will be earnable by completing a few missions. Earned enough favor.
Yeah.
Now, we know that visual novels and relationship-based games might not be everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine.
Yeah, I
In
didn't
general,
play it last
we
year.
want to continue to experiment with these metagames, so we'll keep trying different cadences, genres, and styles to make sure we're creating something for everyone over time. With that, I'll hand it over to Matt and Drew to talk about griefing and inting.
Yeah, I don't really play the meta games that they add to the client, but you know, if people like them, they like them. It's whatever. I don't really usually play them.
Hey everyone, I'm Riot Froxon.
And I'm just a capybara. As a recap, in the last dev update, we announced we are updating our systems to better detect and penalize disruptive behaviors like inting and griefing. So this time, we're back to let you know how this update went. When we rolled this out, it was really important to us to not punish low-skill players. Their play is sometimes hard to distinguish from players who intentionally lose in higher skill games, so we were a bit conservative with our rollout.
To date, the detections have a 99.95% accuracy rate. Given this success, we're continuing to invest in the system's capabilities. We'll also start holding higher skill games to a higher standard, since we know Diamond players don't ghost back to lane like Iron players might.
Yeah, also master tier players don't walk onto a Katarina dagger and lose you a 40-minute game.
So we'll start punishing more aggressively in those instances. Additionally, we're significantly increasing penalties for repeated levers and toxic keyboard warriors.
We've also seen a lot of your feedback on things that you felt were missing, like spamming Trundle Pillar or Nivea Wall or trolling TK ults on your teammates. So we've increased our detections to help identify those more accurately. At the time of recording, we're targeting these changes to go live with patch 25.11. Beyond this, we're also revising our current approach on ranked restriction. We've found that while ranked restrictions work in most cases, there are some players who get through their restriction games by ruining norms or swift play, which just sucks, and it isn't okay. While this percentage is low, we just don't think this behavior has any place in the game. So we'll be punishing ranked offenders with aggressive queue delays.
I mean, honestly though, like if someone's ruining normal games because they're ranked restricted, they should probably just get banned. No, why are you being so lenient? Like they already got removed from the ranked queue, and now they're ruining normal queue. I mean, they can't play nice. So just get rid of them. Just ban them.
There's also one more change we're working on, but wanted to get your thoughts on before implementing. We're looking at adding a new feature to automatically terminate games if egregious game-ruining behavior is detected. This means 9 people won't have to have their time wasted by a single player intent on trolling, similar to how Vanguard currently works for cheaters.
We also wanted to take a moment to acknowledge some feedback we've seen on the honor system.
Honestly though, like them terminating games, like if your mid laner dies 2 times and then just starts buying 5 tiers and then running it down mid, them making it so the other 9 players just get the match terminated is gonna be so nice. Like nobody wants to sit there in a game and lose LP because one person had a baby rage mental. Like that's just how it is.
We know it's frustrating to see that you're about to be demoted when you haven't changed how you play or how you interact with other players. This is due to some under the hood changes we made to the system back in patch 25.0. Since we released these changes, we changed how honor is evaluated in a way that doesn't line up with your expectations. So we'll be looking to iterate and improve on the experience in the coming months.
While we're working on these improvements, nothing will change with Hextech chest distribution today. But as we mentioned when chests return, we still fully intend on having some only earnable through higher honor levels in the future. But we have to get the system right before doing that.
We know having positive players in your games is something all of us care a lot about. So expect to hear more from us about honor in a future dev update later this year. Until then, thanks for staying positive.
And if you're not, prepare to be
Eliminated.
And just around the corner, we have MSI that starts on June 27th. This year, we'll be
MSI?
bringing
They're
pick'ems
gonna
to
have
MSI
pick'ems.
for the first time ever. So make sure you do your research and lock in before the first match.
Let's see if someone will finally submit a perfect bracket, which won't be me.
We're
They should
also
give honorable
excited to
player
test out a new
skins.
way to celebrate the
Ooh.
team that wins MSI this year. The week after
I actually
the
might
final
watch
match,
MSI this year.
we'll be putting the skins that the winning team used during the finals on sale. We'll create a bundle for each role that contains the skins used with an even deeper discount. For example, the top lane bundle. So let's hope that we go to a full 5 games for maximum skins. Check out patch notes for more details.
Excited for that, Brett. And last, it's been a minute, and I'm here to address Victor Nation. We've been quiet, but it doesn't mean we weren't listening. So I'm happy to announce to you all that we'll be doing a throwback skin in the style of Victor's original look because
Let's
we
fucking
know it means a
go.
lot to so many of you. Now look,
I don't know why
we
they
don't
didn't
have a name
release
yet,
that
but
when they
maybe
reworked them.
Victor? I don't know. Let us know, Victor Nation. He'll be coming out later this year. And that's it for today. We'll be back in a few more weeks to talk more. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the Rift.
Peace. Honestly, the ARAM changes, that's going to be huge. I really like the card system that they were talking about, or just playing an ARAM game, and you load in. People will just not use their rerolls if they already got a champion that they want to play. And so you're just sitting there with half the rerolls the enemy team does, and then they get to build a better comp than you. The new maps are going to be neat as well, because they're at least going to add a little bit of variety. And then it's because there's a different map, the meta comps on each map is going to be slightly different because of the way the map is laid out. And so maybe it'll at least bring a little bit of change to like the ARAM meta, but we'll see. And the ending and griefing situation in League of Legends, you know, I really want them to succeed, but I feel like it's going to be really hard to implement. But with like AI stuff, watching the games, I'm pretty sure they can figure it out. Anyways, that was neat. I'll give that a 6 out of 10. You know what? It was a 6 out of 10. I think it's going to add a lot of neat things to the game. I'm definitely a ARAM enjoyer.